Welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video we are going to be rating Linux websites, and the way we're going to do this is we're going to go to the most popular Linux distribution websites and we're going to rate them on the following factors. 1. How easy are they to navigate? 2. What information is available on the website that actually describes the Linux distribution you want to install? And 3. How easy is it to actually download the distribution that you want to download? Now, these are the three key things that most users will want to know is 1. What is it? 2. How do I get it? And 3. How do I get to the page to get it? So let's start. And this is MX Linux. This is currently number 1 in the DistroWatch rankings. So whilst it may not be the most stylish of websites, it is fully functional and it does give a good navigational menu at the top. It tells you which Linux desktop environments are available and it gives you links to the download page, hardware support and cloud information. It tells you what MX Linux is. MX Linux is a cooperative venture between the Anti-X and MX Linux community. It's a family of operating systems that are designed to combine elegant and efficient desktops with high stability and solid performance. So it's got a good little bit of blurb at the top, and then you've got these videos that you can watch, which takes you to this page here. So other than the videos, if we scroll down, it tells you about each of the desktop environments and what they are about. So XFCE's flagship is a mid-weight desktop. It aims to be fast and with low resources, and it gives you information. It gives you information about the KDE desktop, gives you information about the Fluxbox desktop. So the front page of MX Linux's website, very good indeed. So maybe now you want to download MX Linux. So how do we do that? We click the download link here and it gives you information. So it tells you how to choose. So it tells you there's 3 different desktop environments. We know that from the front page: XFCE, KDE and Fluxbox. Now you've got 4 different options available, and it does give you information about each one. So for the average user, you need to know what kind of machine you're using. So it's worth noting that x64 is a 64-bit, 386 is a 32-bit, but then you've got this advanced hardware support version, and this is for people that have newer computers. So they've added a later version of the kernel for you, so it will work with your hardware. And then you've got this one here, which is a Raspberry Pi version. So all in all, I think that's actually a very good download page. If you go down here, it says how to obtain MX Linux. You can do it direct from the repo, you can go to mirrors, or you can use BitTorrents. And importantly, it's got how to verify that the downloaded image you've downloaded is validated, and it even gives you information about how to make the USB and how to install. And it also gives you default passwords for the live USB, so that when you're using it, you know which users you are logged in as. So it's got a decent amount of information. So if we click on one of these, like the x64, it takes you to the SourceForge page, and then it will start downloading their distribution. So all in all, MX Linux is great. So the next one we're going to look at is the king of all distributions, Linux Mint. And this is the Linux Mint website. It's got a nice clean interface. It's got a quite stylish looking front page, and it tells you Linux Mint 22. This is the latest version. So instantly, if you just want to get the latest version of Linux Mint, there's your download link and there's some installation instructions. We'll go into that a bit later on. We'll go down here because you might want to know what Linux Mint is about. So it says Linux Mint is an operating system for desktop and laptop users. It's designed to work out of the box and comes fully equipped with the apps most people need. So it tells you a little bit more about the stuff you'll get. It's not too in depth and it doesn't have the videos that MX Linux has, but it tells you more about why you might want to choose Linux Mint. And then down here there's press releases, latest news, community support. It gives information about sponsors, and then down here there's more stuff here. So it's got an installation guide, user guide, download links, donate, get involved, etc. So we're going to go back to the top, and you can see there is a menu at the top as well. So you could go up here and then it will tell you that there's a Linux Mint 22 version and there's Linux Mint Debian edition, and then you've got all these other versions here. So let's look at the installation instructions. So it's got links to choose the right edition, verifying your ISO image, which is important, how to create the media, and how to boot into Linux Mint. And it tells you how to install it, gives you information about hardware drivers, multimedia codecs, language support and system support, and it gives you troubleshooting as well. So if we just click on this one for instance, it gives you information about which version of Linux Mint you want to choose, because there are different desktop environments. There's Cinnamon, which is the main flagship product. There's Marty, which is a lightweight desktop, and XFCE, which is also a lightweight desktop. And it tells you about 32-bit or 64-bit. Most people nowadays should be on 64-bit. So back at the front page, and if I click download, you've got Cinnamon edition download, XFCE download, Mate edition download. So if I click on the download, it tells you the size of the image is 2.7 gigabytes. It links you to the installation guide again, and then there's a torrent download if you want to use that. And these are your checksums for making sure the images are correct. This is the bit that's a little bit more tricky than MX Linux. It gives you mirrors around the world where you can download Linux Mint from. So basically you just need to pick your closest location and then click on one of the links, and then it will start downloading. So nothing too tricky there. The third website we're looking at is Endeavour OS. Endeavour is an Arch-based distribution, and you can see here it says start your Endeavour with a lightweight Arch-based system ready to personalised and a stellar community at your side. So we've got this read more here, and that tells you about the latest Endeavour that's available. And it tells you the packages it comes with. If we go back to the front page, and it says click the buttons or links below to launch your journey. Now you've got Magnet and you've got Torrent, but if you keep scrolling down, you've got different download mirror lists for different countries. And it's segregated into regions. So if I wanted UK and I want the ISO, so you've got the ISO image, you've got the checksum, and you've got the GPG signature. Now it doesn't go into detail about what each of those are about, but knowing you want the distribution, you can click on this download link here, and you can see that the first link I clicked didn't actually work. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick Germany, because Germany's not too far away from the UK, and you can see it's downloading. So the good thing about having multiple mirrors, of course, is that you can choose a different mirror if one of them is not available, but that's just unfortunate on the first attempt there that didn't work. Now there's also an Endeavour ARM version that you should be able to install onto maybe a Raspberry Pi. I don't know if that's true or not. There's not too much information on the actual website itself. We have got a wiki, so it does have the installation. But Endeavour doesn't give as much information as, say, Linux Mint or MX Linux. If you're going to be using an Arch-based distribution, you probably need to know a little bit more about Linux than if you're using a Debian-based one. But it does give you, how to create the USB key, how to install it on VirtualBox, how to get Broadcom Wi-Fi drivers working. So it does have useful information. And then of course we have the wiki. So there's lots of information. So if we click on this installation here, that takes you back to where we were before. It tells you about Pacman, which is how you install packages, how to set up printers. You've got video tutorials. So it's an okay website. It's not spectacular. Now we move on to the father of all distros. This is Debian. So it has improved, believe it or not, over the last year or two. For once, we've actually got a big download button on the front screen, and therefore it's obvious how you download Debian. It gives you a lot about the community, so you've got links to the people page, our philosophy, get involved more, why Debian, user support, security and more. and then you've got some project news down here. So let's look at why Debian, and it's a fairly bland wiki style page, but it does give you full information. Debian is free software, it's stable and secure, has extensive hardware support, offers a flexible installer, provides smooth upgrades, and it's the base for many other distributions. And so you've got lots of information there. Now obviously Debian isn't necessarily for the new user to Linux anyway, but this website probably doesn't entice them in that much. If we click on the download link, it does start downloading straight away, but it is the net installer. If you want other downloads, you have to click this other downloads link, and that's where things get a little bit messy. So it says this page has options for downloading and installing Debian stable. So the download mirrors, installation manual, which is good, so we'll open that in a new window. But it's got installation manuals for absolutely every single language and for every single device. If we click that one, it does have a really good installation manual, and actually you're not going to get a better one than this. This is incredibly involved, and it tells you exactly what you need to do, how to set up hardware. It's a really good web page. The main issue with Debian isn't the content, it's the layout of the content. So once you get to the installation guide, it is complete, and it will tell you most of the stuff you need to know. It's just trying to find it is sometimes a little bit hit and miss, and if you're a new user, you're trying to work out what links am I supposed to click. So there's a download an installation image, and it says a small image can be downloaded quickly, so that's the same one as from the front page. But if you want to use the Calamares installer, you can do a live USB, and you've got different versions of the live that you can then install. There's an official cloud image if you want to install to the cloud, and it tells you how you can buy USB sticks and how you can buy a computer with Debian pre-installed. So let's look at this. If I want to say download the live XFCE, it will download the live XFCE. But if we click on this other live ISO, you've got this page here, and you've got this massive list of download links, which isn't overly clear. So what I'd say about Debian is there's a hell of a lot of information. I just think maybe it could be packaged up a little bit better, but yes, there's lots of information on the Debian website. So the next one is Manjaro. Now Manjaro is another Arch-based distribution, and I would say Manjaro Linux is akin to Arch as Linux Mint is to Ubuntu. So the website is nice and clean. It's got a nice banner, it's got a nice screenshot, and there's a big download button at the top of the screen. It says taking the raw power and flexibility of Arch Linux and making it more accessible for a greater audience, and I can confirm that is the truth. And it's robust with rolling releases. So the difference between Manjaro and Endeavour, for instance, is Endeavour sticks to Arch's principle. So whatever Arch is at, Endeavour's there as well. So you keep up to date continuously, whereas Manjaro stays behind a little bit, make sure things are stable before releasing it to its audience. And it says Manjaro comes in different versions suitable for home but also business use. We offer first-class services to provide businesses with the means to make efficient use of their IT infrastructure, leveraging Manjaro Linux. And you've got these links at the bottom. So if we click on the download link, it tells you which versions are available, and it's nice and clean again. It says KDE Plasma. Plasma is one of the most advanced desktops and offers great flexibility, suitable for beginners and pros. XFCE is a lightweight desktop. Then you've got GNOME is a modern desktop. The layout is different from other options, but easy and intuitive to learn. And if you want to learn more about this, you can click the more, and it basically gives you options for minimal version or full version, and then you can choose a torrent image, the signature and the checksum. And the same for XFCE and the same for GNOME. And then you've got these community images as well, so if you want a cinnamon version of Manjaro, you can choose the cinnamon version, i3 Window Manager and Sway Window Manager. If we go up to the help, it gives you documentation, so you can visit the wiki, forum, Arch wiki. Now the Arch wiki is absolutely phenomenal, by the way. It is one of the best wikis ever invented. Even if you're not using Arch, there's usually quite a lot of information on here that is suitable for general Linux use. So the Arch wiki is fantastic. But then you've got the Manjaro wiki, which has information for, got an overview using Manjaro coming from Windows. So if you're a Windows user, you click here and it tells you a bit more about Manjaro for a Windows user. And of course, if we just want to download one, we can just click the download link and it will start downloading. Okay, so here is Ubuntu's website, and it's a bit odd how to choose a database management system. So it doesn't start off with anything about Ubuntu, and it's more for a business point of view. It's looking more and more like the Microsoft website every day, and the trouble with that is the Microsoft website isn't a good one. So it's got latest news, energize your engineers. It's very corporate in nature. You know, you get those TV adverts where you've got companies and you're not really sure what they do. Well, if you came to here for the first time, there's a lot of stuff going on this website. Unless you knew what Ubuntu was, it's not very informative. There's too much information about things that most desktop users don't want to know about. But if you click on products and then you click on Ubuntu desktop, that's when things change, because the Ubuntu desktop page is actually reasonably decent. And it says the #1 open source operating system powers millions of PCs and laptops around the world, and you've got a large download button, which is what we like, and it gives you information, secure modern operating system used by millions, and it tells you everything you need to know about that. It tells you about the applications that are installed, hardware support, and it goes on and on and on. And down at the bottom here you've got all these things going on, so Kubernetes, you've got all the sort of like stuff that comes from Ubuntu and Canonical, and there's a lot of it. But if we click on the download Ubuntu desktop here, it takes you to the downloads page, and you can see Ubuntu, it puts the long-term support release at the top, and it gives you information about it. It tells you what's new, systems requirements, and how to install. And there's a step-by-step tutorial. So if we click there, it takes you through the whole installation process. So once you get to the Ubuntu download page, everything's quite clear. So it starts off with the LTS release, but if you come down here, it shows you the latest release, so you can also install the latest release. Now, most people should stick on the LTS versions. It's only enthusiasts that really want to move to the latest version, because when the support for that ends in July 2025, so you'd have to install the latest version. Now, enthusiasts do that. They'll go from 24.10 to 25.04 and keep going on, but some people just want to have the latest long-term support release that they install it once and they just get security updates and patches. So the Ubuntu website, the initial front page is naff, but the actual downloading of the desktop version is actually quite good. Next up is System76 and Pop OS, and just pop.system76.com, and this is the download page for that, and you can see it tells you about Pop straight away. Pop is an operating system for STEM. Doesn't actually explain what STEM is. I'm not a fan of acronyms like that, but Pop is an operating system for STEM and creative professionals who use their computer as a tool to discover and create. Unleash your potential on secure, reliable, open source software. Based on your exceptional curiosity, we sense you have a lot of it. And then you've got a download link and a donate to Pop link. And if we go down here, it tells you more about what's happening. Cosmic is our new desktop environment, and you can learn more about that. And streamline your workflow, and then it's got some videos. Tells you about workspaces, navigation, stacking, and it gives you more information about development tools, hardware support, how to keep your system secure, and more and more and more. and there's also a Pop Pi for the Raspberry Pi 4. Wonder if that means there's not one for the Raspberry Pi 5. So up here you've got System 76 laptops, so if you want to buy systems with Pop OS already installed, you've got the System 76 laptops. They're quite pricey. If we go back to the Pop website, we can click on the download link. It gives you various versions. You can download the LTS, LTS with NVIDIA support, and the Raspberry Pi version. And it's got your recommended specifications, the file size that you're downloading, and it gives you the keys that you need to verify your images. And there's a link to how to create the installation media. And it gives you full installation instructions, and it downloads straight away, so you don't have to click on mirrors or anything like that. So that is Pop OS. So next up we've got CachyOS, which is another Arch based distribution, and it tells you what it is in big bold letters on the front of the screen. Blazingly fast and customizable Linux distribution. CachyOS is designed to deliver lightning fast speeds and stability, ensuring a smooth and enjoyable computer experience every time you use it. Whether you're a seasoned Linux user or just starting out, CachyOS is the ideal choice for those looking for a powerful, customizable and blazingly fast operating system. And then you've got a big download link and learn more. So if we click on learn more, I'm going to open it in a new tab, and it tells you the features of CachyOS. And if we scroll down, you've got a big screenshot, and again it tells you the benefits and tells you how to donate. And then again you've got the download link at the bottom. Up here we've got the wiki, and that's got an installation guide which tells you everything you need to be able to install CachyOS. So if we click on the download link, you click on the download desktop edition, and then you can choose to download direct from SourceForge, and you've got the checksum as well. If we scroll down, there's a handheld edition, and that's available for things like the Steam Deck. The penultimate distro we're going to be looking at today is Fedora, and this is the Fedora website. It takes up a lot of real estate just telling you it's your operating system. And it says it's an innovative platform for hardware, clouds and containers built with love by you, and it's 100% free and open source. And it tells you what the latest release is, so you can click that. If we scroll down, it tells you about the different versions. So you've got the workstation, server, Internet of Things, lightweight VM environment, and then you've got the container optimized OS. And then you've got more Fedora options here. You've got the Atomic desktops, Fedora Spins, Fedora Labs, and then down here again it tells you more about the Atomic desktops and the different spins that are available. If we click on the latest release, again it just drags you down the page, and if we learn more about the workstation, for instance, it tells you about the workstation version. So it's a beautiful high quality desktop built on the latest open source technology, trusted, powerful and easy. And it tells you why you might want to use Fedora, it tells you about the apps, the workstation, all the features of Fedora. Now I can click on the download link. It gives you an option to download the Fedora Media Writer, and that enables you to install Fedora to a USB drive, and we've got a learn more link here, so we're going to click on that, and it's a page showing you how to create the boot media. And then we got if you just want the ISO image because you're going to use something else to create the USB drive, or you're going to create a virtual machine, then you can click on the download link here, and it's got the checksum to verify as well. So we click that one there, and you can see it starts to download. And then we've got this thing called other downloads. So you've got a network installer if you want to do a network install. You've got torrents for different architectures. So if you think about Debian, Debian had all different architectures and stuff, and they had it all in your face. Fedora's hidden the ones that are less likely to be used away. So for most people, they want the desktop, and the thing that most people are going to use is in your face, and the stuff that less people are going to use It's slightly hidden away, but not so hidden that you can't find it. And the last website we're going to be looking at today is OpenSUSE at openSUSE.org. And it says the maker's choice for sysadmins, developers and desktop users. And there's 2 versions available, and it says get the newest Linux packages with our rolling release, fast, integrated, stabilized and tested. Or you got Leap, get the most complete Linux distribution with OpenSUSE's latest regular release version. And it gives you more information, so if I click here, it's going to make me click on it. I can't open a new window, which is annoying. But then it says any users who wish to have the newest packages that include but are not limited to the Linux kernel, Samba, Git, desktops, Office applications and many other packages will want Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed appeals to power users, software developers and OpenSUSE contributors. If you require the latest software stacks and integrated development environment, or need a stable platform closest to bleeding edge Linux, Tumbleweed is the best choice for you. And you can click to learn more, and it gives you information about Tumbleweed, third-party drivers. Now, interesting that if you install OpenSUSE, it gives you the GNOME desktop as your default desktop, right? And with that, you get the GNOME software manager. But if you use Tumbleweed rolling release, it says there's no updates, only urgent patches. So it says when upgrading Tumbleweed, it is advised not to use graphical tools. You should use zipper DUP in the terminal. So that's an interesting thing there, because most users will want to use a graphical tool. Most desktop users will want to use a graphical tool, not the terminal. And I wonder what effect it actually has if you do use GNOME Software Manager to update all your packages as opposed to zipper. But if you want to install Tumbleweed, you can click this link here, and it gives you an overview. And then if you want to click download, you have to click this tab here, and then it's got different versions. Again, it's a little bit messy. So you've got 64-bit, 32-bit, an offline image or a network image, and then you've got ARM versions, and then you've got IBM versions. But I guess it's because OpenSUSE caters for more architecture than some other distributions do. And there's also an alternative downloads section here as well. So that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, I might make another one for other distributions in the future, because I've just done the top 10 on DistroWatch today. But that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time on Everyday Linux User.